Now, one time I received a comment on one of my videos asking me how you can become a six-figure salary UX writer fast, meaning earning more than $100,000 per year. And I always tell you, leave me some comments, let me know what you want me to talk about here. And all questions are valid. And that means that today we talk about exactly this one, how to become a six-figure UX writer fast. Hello everyone, my name is Kat and I teach people about writing in tech, and on this channel you will find everything that you need to know about especially UX writing. So if you want to learn more about all of that, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell. So as promised, with this video I will answer one of your questions: how can I become a highly paid UX writer fast? And before we answer this question, let's put it into perspective, because I know that some of you might find it a little shady to even take this question seriously, because UX writing is a craft, right? And it should be studied, and you should collect experience and not rush things, earn your stripes, and definitely not do it for the money only. And you know how I am the first person to represent this narrative. My absolute pet peeve is when people become UX writers and they have neither the knowledge nor the passion to be a UX writer. They just enter the field because they think they can make a lot of money out of it, but they don't care about UX writing and they're not willing to put in the work. Okay, so this is my biggest pet peeve. Just to make it very, very clear, this is my standpoint in general. Please know that this video is not for these people, okay? If you don't care about UX writing and you don't want to put in the work to gain the knowledge and the skills and the experience, but you just want to join us because you want easy money, then please go away, okay? Don't join us. This video is for the people who love this craft and who want to put in the work, okay? Who are passionate about UX writing and who are passionate about writing and about UX, and who also want to earn money, because both can be true, right? You can love UX writing and you can also thrive to become wealthy and financially secure with working in UX writing. So for these people, this video is kind of a step-by-step guide, and of course, disclaimer, if you follow these steps, I can definitely not guarantee that you will get a six-figure income fast, but I am positive that with these steps, you will have the highest chances of achieving just that. So if you are ready to both dream and put in the work, let's start. Now, the first step is, before anything else, step one: become an exceptionally good UX writer. Your background does not really matter. You can come from any background because you most likely have to learn everything about UX writing from scratch anyways, so don't worry about that too much, okay? But when it comes to becoming exceptionally good at UX writing, there is no cutting corners, okay? Because if you want to become one of the best paid UX writers, you first have to become one of the best UX writers. And what I want you to do is, I want you to consume all the literature, all the blog posts that you can get your hands on. If somebody mentions a book or an article or even a podcast episode, I want you to already know it. Look for online courses in both UX writing and generally in UX. And take all of that knowledge and practice. Rewrite all the apps and websites you see around you so you can really apply what you've learned, okay? But that is not all. If you do all that, you are only a UX writer who is as good as all the other UX writers. I need you to go beyond that. Once you became a good UX writer, start questioning what you see and what others tell you, okay? Build an informed opinion about what is going on in the field of UX writing. And more than that, I need you to add new knowledge to the field. And you don't do that by repeating what has already been said a million times before, but you do that, for example, by looking left and right into fields like linguistics, psychology, sociology, cultural studies, and communication studies, and see what you can take from these disciplines to enrich and advance your UX writing knowledge base, okay? Do this for a couple of months, a few years, and I promise you will have a rich, bright, colorful bouquet of things you know about UX writing and verbal communication and interface that barely anybody else has in this discipline. So this is what you focus on first. You build this insanely strong, deep, wide knowledge base on UX writing, and a plus, but not a necessity, is you can share that knowledge. So you can post on LinkedIn if you like, you can post on Medium if you like, you can build an Instagram account, because that will help you to understand the knowledge even better, okay? Communicating it. But it would also be nice if recruiters Googled your name and they would find really good content about UX writing from you. But what we're not gonna do is we don't post on LinkedIn every day just to get views and clicks and likes, because posting on LinkedIn every day is for attention seekers, and we choose quality over quantity and we choose career over clicks, okay? But if you feel like you want to share parts of your knowledge, you feel like you indeed have something important to share and to say and to add to the community, definitely do that. The second step, if you haven't already checked this one off your list, learn English. The UX writing community is an international one, and where we're going with our step-by-step plan, you need bulletproof English skills like C1 or C2 level English. You can learn it on YouTube for free, or you can take a course at your local language school, whatever. You can also obtain official certificates like the one that you get from taking the TOEFL test. But to be honest, where we're going with this, people would just expect that you speak very, very good English. So again, a proof is nice to have, but it's nice to have. You just need to have very good reading, writing, and understanding and speaking skills in the English language. A certificate does not prove that. You have to prove that yourself. The third step also focuses on specific skills, and that is learn how to communicate effectively. And by effectively, I mean learn how to communicate in a way that makes people understand you and trust you and like you, listen to you, okay? This requires you to learn how to communicate authentically and still convince people. So don't become one of those, copycat rhetoric masters who just imitates good speakers, but instead learn who you are as a social person. Find your very specific communication style, see what you feel comfortable with, learn how to handle your emotions in communication while staying your true self, okay? And master this, okay? Trust me, communication skills will open more doors than you can ever imagine. Because after all, what we look for, even in business conversations and job interviews, pitches, etc., is human connection. And to connect with others on a human level, you have to be authentic, and you also have to be capable of expressing your thoughts in a way that is easy to understand and easy to comprehend for others. Step 4, and this may depend a little bit on your country and culture, but I found this to be very helpful in many settings, is get additional educational certificates from renowned institutions, the big names. An online degree from Oxford University, from Stanford University, etc. They are usually pretty easy to enroll in. You have to save a little money to be able to afford them, of course, but these courses range from a couple of $100s to a couple of $1,000 depending on the university and the specific program. But in many, many countries, big names will open doors for you. And if a recruiter reads one of those big names in your CV, they'll probably give you some extra credit for that, especially in pretty conservative cultures like the international corporate culture. People just love it. They love big names. But trust me, even that cool hipster founder of your favorite new tech startup in Berlin loves this, okay? This is just how most people in power positions are wired. And unfortunately, if what you want to become is a highly paid UX writer fast, you have to impress some of those people in power positions. Now, what about UX writing certificates? Yes, they can help, but to be honest, to these people, it probably doesn't matter if your UX writing certificate comes from the UX Writing Hub or the Content Collective or Udemy. And I don't say this because I teach on Udemy. I say this because it's just one single line in your resume. And if you apply for a position in UX writing, people expect you to be able to do the job, okay? And a certificate shows them that you try to level up, but it doesn't prove that you can actually do the job. So get UX writing certificates, but don't buy an introductory course for $2,000, folks. Just don't. This will not get you there. I always tell you, if you don't want to take my courses, you have a lot of different options out there. Just Google for it and find an institution or a teacher to trust and a program that fits your budget, okay? But also know that many people have these practice-oriented certificates, while certificates from renowned institutions that give you a deeper understanding are more unique and more prestigious and may become a competitive advantage for you. But here again, only take classes you can comfortably afford, okay? Save up some money, invest in those certificates, and then you're good to go, but only choose what you can afford. So these are the basics, okay? This is what you do for building up your knowledge, your skills, your CV the basics. But how do we then proceed? How do we strategically gain practical experience in UX writing to reach our ultimate goal, becoming a highly paid UX writer? Now, your first UX writing job will probably not get you a six-figure salary. That's just not realistic. However, your second one might. But for that, your first job needs to perfectly prepare you for it. And for this, I clearly recommend working for a UX agency or a UX consulting firm. Here, you will most likely work for several different clients, which will not only train you to work with different brand voices and processes and products and people, it will most likely be a fast-paced environment, and you will not only train your UX writing skills, you will also train your flexibility and your adaptability. You simply learn how to provide value to people under tough conditions. And trust me, this is exhausting as nothing else, but it will equip you with the mental and professional toolbox that you need in order to become a highly paid UX writer. Now, when you have one of those jobs, stay in this job for at least 2 or 3 years, and then from here on, you can already try to shoot for a six-figure job. But if that doesn't work, you might need to add another step to your journey, and here again, try to shoot for big names, really big agencies, famous startups, big corporates, anything that looks good in your CV, okay? Because next to having major UX writing skills and great communication skills, this is what will open doors for you. Step 6, speaking of open doors, while you build the basis of your career, you grow your UX writing skills and collect some practical experience for at least 2 or 3 years, the next thing that you need to do, of course, is networking. Go to events, meetups, conferences, etc. Both as an attendee and as a speaker. Be on podcasts. Be unavoidable in the UX community. And we all know this can be super exhausting, but this is about becoming a highly paid six-figure UX writer fast and not become a comfortable, relaxed UX writer fast, okay? So carve out some time every month, every week, every day to engage with people from your industry in a meaningful, substantial way. And make sure you don't connect with other UX writers only, but also with product managers, design directors, CIOs, founders, etc., because they're probably the ones who hire UX writers. And of course, also make sure you build an effective network inside the company you currently work for. Now, the next step is pretty specific, but also very important. I want you to try to get into a big American corporation, into one of the so-called big tech companies. So Google, Amazon, Netflix, Apple, Microsoft, Meta. These companies live and breathe digital products. They are the century-long pioneers of digital products, and they appreciate good UX, so they are willing to invest in UX experts. And here, let's take a short break, okay? Reflect a little bit on all of this, because if you've taken this route up until this point, you have already made a lot of sacrifices concerning your work-life balance, because you've just invested a lot of time, money, and energy in your career. And this is pretty much the climax of it, because getting a job in one of these companies is super difficult. You have to prepare for the application process intensively, excessively. You might even have to move to another city and leave your old life behind. But as I said, you know what this is about. You know what we're doing this for, right? No need for me to remind us all every 2 minutes about it, okay? Try to become a UX writer at one of these companies, because this will be your best chance to get a six-figure salary fast. Promise. Now, let's say you actually got one of these jobs. What you do next, step 8, is you perform, my friends. You better perform. And I don't mean be good at your job. I don't mean excel. I mean you do your job as on purpose. You're on a mission, baby, okay? You're here to do the best job a UX writer has ever done. This is also your chance to meet inspiring and influential people, thought leaders who you can learn from. But keep in mind, these people want to meet you on eye level. So make sure you're great at what you do, okay? You're about to become one of those influential people as well. Because from here on, you're going to establish yourself as an expert, both inside and outside of your company, and you level up. Be ambitious, take on important projects, make sure you get promoted. And in some of these companies, it may even be possible for you to become vice president as a UX writer or as a content strategist. So there's probably a good path that you can follow from here. Of course, this includes becoming a UX writing lead, a head of, and even a director. And if you reach a point where you can't level up in your company anymore, it's time to switch companies and maybe get the same job just for a little more money at another similar company. But at this point, you will probably already have reached a six-figure salary. Now, if you're good at what you do, like really good, you could reach this within 5 or 7 years, and that would be very fast. Everything else is just plain unrealistic. Now there's one last step, which is actually the most important one of them all, and that is manage your personal resources thoughtfully. Because keep in mind, this is only the beginning of your career, so I want you to manage your stress carefully. At least try getting enough sleep, squeeze in some exercising, meet and talk with your loved ones. Even if you want to take this road because you're out on the hunt for the big money, keep in mind there's more to life than your job. And if you get laid off and that happens, you have nothing left in your life if you don't take care of these aspects of your life as well. And this leads us right to the next part of this video, which is going down the road I just described is super stressful. And this is because our only focus here is money, okay? Because that's the question that we wanted to answer. This path neglects various other important factors of your job, like fun, a healthy work-life balance, a good company culture, etc. And from one of my last videos, you know that these things matter a lot for your mental well-being. So if you don't only want to go for the money, pick and choose from the steps that I just told you about and create your own journey, okay? Because this is only the most promising way. It's definitely not the only way. Your plan could also be, for example, to get a job in a national corporation or a medium-sized company and start a side hustle. This might also get you six-figure earnings. And that leads me to the next and the last part of this video, in which we will talk about what will probably not work when it comes to wanting to build a six-figure career. First, don't become a freelancer as the first step you take as a UX writer. As a freelancer, you will be expected to just do perfect work. Freelancing will only give you a lot of money if you are really good and really experienced. So save this strategy for the later stages of your career. The next thing I wouldn't recommend if you want to make a lot of money fast is joining a startup. Some of them pay quite okay, but not six-figure okay, and most of them don't pay well at all. Plus, things can get messy and shift fast. Layoffs happen too fast. So I don't know, this is not the safest route to get a six-figure salary fast. And ultimately, what probably also won't work is cutting corners when it comes to competence, knowledge, and skills. To make a huge amount of money fast, you have to be exceptionally good and passionate at what you do. And this is what makes it so hard to earn a huge amount of money fast. You just have to be really good. So I hope I answered this question to a somewhat satisfying extent. I would like to complete this video by saying that you definitely don't have to choose this path, okay? It's okay to take things slower. It's okay to earn less money. It's okay to not make money your first priority, but it's also okay if you do. It's your life, it's your choices, my friends. And I think these are good words to end this video. So make sure you hit like and subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I also share free tips and tricks about writing in tech and UX writing in particular. So I hope to see you there. And other than that, keep on writing, enjoy the process, and I hope to see you sometime soon.